What it do? Welcome to Club 32, the Gridiron Podcast, the People's Podcast, where we keep it real, no fluff, no filters. I'm your host, Ron, and I just came to talk to you about something that I like to call Minnesota Magic. You ask me, what is Minnesota Magic? Minnesota Magic is a pattern that the Vikings, they seem to have, especially good, I ain't gonna say taking quarterbacks, but developing quarterbacks, and that most people have written off, or whose careers look like they were fading, and turning them into revival stories, putting them back in the white hot seat, getting big production, playoff hopes, sometimes even a run, and now you would think that they'd be in position to do it again. I don't know. We're going to have to see until it come up. But let me tell you where I'm coming from with it. But before I do all of that, I need you to make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can stay in the loop with Club 32. Let's go. Just look at the quarterback success that they've had in Minnesota. Okay. Backup. The Rushton backup core beast, what did it? Put him right into the role. 2017, Case Keenum led the Vikings to a 13-3 record. That was when we had the Minneapolis Miracle, NFC Championship appearance. Okay, Case Keenum, 2017 season is the foundation of the Minnesota Magic narrative. Thrush, into the starting role after injuries. Keenum wasn't supposed to be anything more than a placeholder. Instead, he delivered calm, confident quarterback play that fit perfectly into Minnesota's system. The Vikings didn't ask him to be elite. They asked him to be efficient and decisive and fearless in big moments, and he delivered on all three. The results spoke very, very loudly. 13 wins, a division title, and one of the most iconic playoff moments in NFL history. The Minneapolis Miracle just defines his career in ways that most quarterbacks don't have that type of definition to their career. Look. It just shows that you put the right QB into the right environment, and they can achieve a lot more than you expect. This was the first clear sign that Minnesota could elevate a QB but beyond his perceived calling. I'm tripping. Kirk Cousins, okay, between 2018 and 2023, 6 seasons as a primary starter, had 4 winning seasons. 2022 had a 13-4 record. 2023 was split among multiple quarterbacks. I don't know how to count that year. But Kirk Cousins brought something to Minnesota that it hadn't had in years prior to him coming. That was stability. Across them 6 seasons, the Vikings were consistently competitive, reaching the postseason multiple times and maintaining relevance year after year. And 4 of those 6 seasons, the team finished above 500, a clear indicator that Cousins delivered winning football more often than not. Even in 2023, when injuries derailed his season and forced Minnesota to rotate between 3 other quarterbacks, the Vikings remained competitive. That speaks not only to Cousins' influence earlier in the season, but also the offensive foundation that Minnesota had built. His era proved that the Vikings could sustain success with solid quarterback play. Not perfection, just consistency and execution. Insert Sam Darnold, 2024. Former high draft pick, written off by a whole lot of people. Then they want to insert J.J. McCarthy as their new starter. Had injury issues. Then here we go. Sam Darnold led them to a 14-3 record, the same record that the Seahawks have right now. But Pro Bowl level production is what we got out of Sam Darnold last year. And his 2024 season may be the clearest example of the Minnesota Miracle in action. After bouncing between teams and facing consistent doubt, Darnold arrived in Minnesota with low expectations. What followed after that was a career-defining year, not because he suddenly became a superstar, but because the Vikings placed him in a system that maximized his strengths and minimized his weaknesses. A 14-3 record and Pro Bowl level play again proved that Minnesota could revive a quarterback's career when the fit was right. Darnold did more than survive in Minnesota. He thrived in Minnesota, and his success reinforced the idea that Minnesota isn't dependent on elite quarterback play pedigree. They succeed by creating structure, confidence, and opportunity. Even when you look at the 2025 room, look, it had its issues for sure. But being able to get some type of competitive play out of J.J. McCarthy and Max Brosmer, I can't take nothing from him. Look, J.J. is supposed to represent the evolution of the Minnesota Magic, not just a revival, but development. Drafted to be the future of the franchise, but McCarthy showed early flashes that the Vikings believed they could mold them into the long-term answer. Even with injuries slowing down his progress, the optimism remained high. Minnesota's recent quarterback history gives Skull Nation confidence that McCarthy should be in the right place. See, this is a team that understands how to protect young quarterbacks and grow them gradually and avoid rushing development. But the foundation is already proven, but they messed up on that last one. They really dropped the bag when they had the guy in place. I guess they was thinking long term. And they just, for whatever reason, they missed the scouting report or whatever and just didn't think that Donald was the guy. And that's on them. Look, so yeah. The Vikings seem to shine here. Look, they know how to just place veteran quarterbacks in decent positions. They seem to create a system that they can mold around that. And Kevin O'Connell is just great at developing quarterbacks. That is something that also says nonetheless. Like I said, even getting Max Brosmer, the undrafted rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, he has some good play. He has some good play. There's definitely something positive if you're looking at him as a developmental or depth piece. I definitely can say that it's not bad to build around, but you definitely want to get your key signal caller in place soon and ready. So if JJ's going to be it, then you got to get him to stay healthy. But you definitely going to need a backup plan because it's not looking good if you're going to have to go into the season like this. But nonetheless, I'm not going to stray away from the fact that the Minnesota Magic is real. The Magic is real in Minnesota for new QBs. So who could be next? Could it be Tua? Could it be Kyler Murray? Anthony Richardson? Who knows? Jimmy G? We don't know. Not sure. Who else is written off? Who be written off? I don't know if you can bring somebody back with danger. I don't know. Mac Jones? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a lot to contemplate, a lot to figure out. But when it happens, and that's how it goes down in Skull Nation. But look, they just tend to consistently elevate overlooked quarterbacks. And when they do that, they can sustain winning football with solid QB play. This keeps them competitive despite the injuries. And look, that's Minnesota Magic. And history just suggests that it isn't slowing down anytime soon. But nonetheless, you tell me how you feel about below, or better yet, come on the show. But as of right now, that's another one in the books from Club 32. So look, I'm going to only break it down the only way I know how. Real, raw, no fluff, no filters. I do want to thank you for coming through and rocking out with Club 32, where we get fans on the show to talk about the game and want you to come and do the same. Look, if you want to get on the show, just send us an email at club32gp@gmail.com. Subject line, Club 32 guests, or you can follow us on all social platforms at Club 32GP. That's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Hit the DM. I want to get on the show. We get you there. I want you to stay connected with the club for all of our NFL breakdowns and for your chance to be a guest on the show. Represent your squad the way that they meant to be represented. Until next time, it's been real. And good luck with your team because we're going to talk about them too. Appreciate you. Be safe. I'm out. Skull Nation. Until you come to Tennessee. Yeah, I said it. Like and hate me. Write me in the comments. I don't care.